Hey, welcome to the Local 636 podcast. We're here at Let's Groove Studio. Come on in, the water's warm. What a great space this is. If you are a podcaster, an aspiring podcaster, if you have a podcast that you're doing at home, do it here. This is an awesome space that you can see. We've got all the production equipment that you could ever want, multiple cameras, lights, a customizable TV screen with your logo, with whatever information you need. Angel and his team here at Let's Groove have all the equipment. They know which buttons to press to make me look and sound good, because that's not easy. And they can do that for you. This space can be yours. This can all be yours, everything you see. This is a rentable space. You can rent it by the hour. You can do monthly packages. Angel and his team are so easy and great to work with as well. All I have to do is come in here and start talking, which is what I like to do, right? We're going to drop the link of how you can get in touch with us. But hit us up and let us know. Now, for the Local 636 podcast, we want you to subscribe, like, follow, send a paper airplane note to your friends, tell everyone about us. But you can hit that subscribe button on YouTube if you're watching. That way you're going to get notifications and be able to get the latest episode, be the envy of all your friends, all your neighborhood, to say that you heard the podcast first. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, go ahead and click that follow or like button. Again, you'll be notified when the newest episode comes out. You'll be the first one to know. You'll have it as soon as it's out. Socials, follow us. Facebook, Instagram, Local 636 on both platforms. You should be able to find us pretty easily. We also have a growing Facebook group where you can find out about the cool stuff happening, not just with Local 636, but in St. Charles County. Local 636 online store is up as well. Be the envy of all your friends with a great Local 636 t-shirt, hat, whatever, coffee map, whatever it is. We've got it all in the store. Local636.com is the website. Just hit that shop button and you'll see all the great things there. We can ship directly to you, or you can pick the item up for free at our new pop-up shop that's in Frenchtown. Thanks for joining us and hope you enjoy the show. Hey, and welcome back to the Local 636 podcast. Today I'm joined by two very special guests, John and Jennifer Whitehead, who are opening an exciting new business on Highway K O'Fallon. It's another car wash. Welcome, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Too many car washes on Highway K. No, John and Jen are opening a brand new coffee shop called PJ's Coffee. Not a car wash. Nothing wrong with car washes. We like clean cars, but a very cool, exciting business on Highway K. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing great. Absolutely.
The coffee is really good. I'm not a huge coffee drinker. I think you guys know that, but tell me what I'm drinking.
Yeah. So that one right there, it's Bananas Foster. It's a kind of New Orleans kind of prime dessert, essentially. It's kind of a seasonal item that they have, but it's one of our favorites. It just came in season, so it was one of those that we figured we'd brew a little pot there and see what you think.
And this is just black coffee.
Yes.
And it's delicious. There's nothing in it. There's no cream. There's no sugar.
No, PJ's brews all of their beans with the flavor in it. So there's no added syrups, no creamers, no anything. So the beans have the flavor inside of them.
You can get that there, I'm sure, if you want to put that stuff in there, but
Absolutely.
The way you serve it is just straight up. Talk about the other flavors, because this is, I don't know why anyone else would get anything other than this,
Yeah.
but you said it's seasonal, right? So
Yeah.
when is it in season? How long is this one in season for?
Yeah.
Bananas Foster's in season for the fall, for the fall months. It will go out when Christmas time rolls around. They have other flavors that are there all year round. Southern Pecan is a huge hit, and it is all year round. So that's one that we definitely keep at our house at all times. But they have everything from hazelnut, English toffee, Southern Pecan, maple, all kinds of flavors that are there. King cake around Mardi Gras.
Yeah, we should mention PJ's is a New Orleans-based company,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So when you hear the flavors, I mean, that just sounds magical to me. King cake and Southern Pecan, you said?
Southern Pecan, yes.
Now, do you guys say pecan or pecan?
That's a good question. I go, pecan?
Or there's
No,
pecan,
it's like a
too.
bird.
Oh,
Yeah.
never pecan.
Never
always
pecan.
pecan.
But you got to draw it out a little more pecan.
Right.
Yeah.
There's another one, too. It's another kind of seasonal one. It's honey macadamia nut. And
Okay.
It's fantastic, too. So it's one of those that, man, I grew up, I just drank black coffee. That's what you did. And then now I guess you get a little bit more, bougie is the right word. But
Yeah.
I want the flavor now. Yeah.
Do you have just black? Can I get in a black coffee there?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Okay. Black coffee, but also flavored stuff. What's there? Well, let's talk about, we're getting away. Let's talk about PJ's Coffee, and let's talk about like how it's different. We know it's a New Orleans-based company. We're going to talk about New Orleans a little bit, but what makes PJ's Coffee different from whatever other coffee shop is on Highway K or in O'Fallon or in St. Charles County?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing, and I like to note, it's small batch roasted. So what they like to do is they keep it at 300 pounds or less when they roast it. So again, what they're doing is they're making sure that the flavor gets in every single whole bean and everything as well. But it's not mass produced. It is farm to table, which is another unique thing. So we're a direct trade company. So they work with actually 14 different farms, essentially from
Cool.
There's Papua New Guinea, there's Brazil, there's Honduras, there's different farms that we have partnerships with that the actual roast master himself will go source the beans with the actual farmers. Again, the relationships are great, which obviously helps, but it's one of those where they take the top 1% of the Arabica beans, and that's what they use to put in that roaster. So that's going to be one of the biggest difference. And we're one of the few companies and coffee shops that actually, again, roast the actual flavor in the coffee beans. So it's one of those to where it's a little bit different, but, it's not, there's no extra calories, there's no extra, sweeteners or anything like that. It's just the flavor that's roasted in the beans, which makes it very unique and have that unique taste.
This is cool. Brought some bags here too. So we've got the Southern Pecan and oh, you can smell it through the bag.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of them have that little thing on the back. Mm-hmm. You don't need it.
They don't use it because it's only a way for the flavor and the quality of the bean to go down. If it is there on the bags, some of the seasonal bags might have it, but it's a one-way valve, so air will not go back in, whereas a lot of other companies, it's a two-way valve. So you can still smell it, but air will never go back in. PJ's also has a standard for their coffee, and it is never on a shelf longer than 90 days. And that is 90 days from the time it is bagged. So every coffee that you are getting is absolutely fresh. They want that standard to stay there. Every bag of coffee that you buy in the store is also going to be fresh. It will never be on our shelves longer than 90 days.
I was going to ask, Angel, can we turn the smell activator on? Is there a way? I mean, this is amazing. This is so good. I just want to, have you smelled that? Check that out, man. That is great. So it sounds like you'll have more than just coffee there. Like
Yes.
you'll have the bags. What else is available at PJ's?
Absolutely. So there's going to be a tea program that we have as well, because again, not everybody's going to be coffee drinkers, but we have teas, we have things like frozen lemonades, frozen hot chocolates. There are different smoothie options. There's going to be a grab and go section. So again, someone who just says, look, maybe I want a water or soda, but maybe I'm here for something different. That would be, kind of what they would go to. And then Jen, if you want to kind of talk about the food options as well.
Yeah, let's talk about the food options.
I know, everybody's favorite. Well, first we will have breakfast sandwiches that are going to be available. We'll have 3 different kind of lunch sandwiches as well that are absolutely amazing. John will have 3 Cubans at once.
Like 10 a.m.
Yes, so Cuban sandwiches for sure are going to be a big hit. And then everybody's favorite, the beignets.
Oh, let's talk about beignets, please.
Yes, we will have beignets. It is something that PJ's offers. And why not bring the New Orleans treat up with us?
Oh my gosh. So I think we've talked about this. My family goes to New Orleans. We try to go once a year. And as touristy as it is, we go to Cafe du Monde. Mm-hmm. One of the first things we do, because you just have to have those beignets. That sounds amazing. Is there any place else in St. Charles that offers those?
In St. Charles, not that we are aware of.
Okay. There may be a restaurant that has like a powdered donut or some sort of...
Correct, but there are going to be no beignets like the ones we offer.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They are made fresh to order as well. So that's the unique thing too, is again, you're not just going to get something that's been sitting there and everything like that as well. It is going to be fresh to order. So again, it's going to be hot, ready to go. And, again, I think it's going to be something that everybody's really going to kind of come together on and enjoy.
I texted my buddy that lives in New Orleans, and he's familiar with the brand and loves it. Had just a ton of cool things to say about it. How did you guys pick? Let me rephrase that. How are they starting to like expand nationally? How did you guys find PJ's?
Yeah.
I assume you've been down there and done all that stuff.
It's been a long process, but PJ's is growing. And that's part of the reason why we jumped on it when we did. We knew that it was going to come to the area, and why not it be us that brings it here? We did a lot of research in the beginning. I mean, there's a lot of coffee places to choose from. Coffee was the one thing that we could agree on. We have 3 kids. We drink a lot of coffee. So it's something that we are passionate about because we need it in our household. But when it came to PJ's, when you get on their website, it feels different. It doesn't feel like a chain. It doesn't feel like a big corporation that ignores you. And it feels comforting. It is safe. And it gave us such a great feeling. So we went through that process. And eventually, after all of our months and months of meetings, we did go down there. And we were like, that's the next step. Let's see what this is all about. We got to see the roasting facility. We met corporate. When we walked into corporate, everybody was waiting for us at the door. You're not going to find that anywhere else. They all were there waiting to say hi. And we walked in, and it was a fantastic experience. They all made sure that we were comfortable. They said goodbye to us when we left. They made sure to make it a point. It was just so great. And when we left, there was no reason for us not to do it. And because they're so different, we knew that it was going to be such a great opportunity to bring to this area. And we're really excited about it.
You mentioned you drink however many cups of coffee, and maybe I didn't make this clear. You guys are husband and wife.
Too much.
Yeah. And too much coffee.
I like her, yeah.
Is that going to go? I think that's going to increase a little bit in a few months here, right? It's important to you guys that this is a family business. And it sounds like what you're saying from the corporate standpoint is like, not only is it important to you that your location is a family business, but that the corporate vibe and atmosphere is a welcoming family.
Absolutely. And so Ballard Brands is essentially that kind of owns PJ's, and it's three brothers. Ironically, the mom's involved as well. She actually owns her own location in Hammond, Louisiana. But it's the family atmosphere, right? So you kind of get that vibe. And, again, it's the respect that they built in the community, and they did it through hard work. They did it through Katrina. They always have that helping hand, and that's again, maybe not to that extent, especially hopefully here, right?
Right.
But it's one of those things that's how we want to view ourselves too, and it's big for us to have our family involved. It's big for us to have our three children involved, and it's that vision of them throwing their backpack down when they get home from school and stuff. I think that's what excites us and I think drives us. But you see a lot of similarities. But I was actually down there last week for some of the franchisee training that we did. And we went out to dinner and just, we ordered just a normal table in the middle of the restaurant, nothing crazy. We didn't run out of back room. And when they said, can I get your name? And they're like, oh, we're here with PJ's Coffee, Ballard Brands. They go, nope. And they just walked them right into the, like a little kind of closed off room area without, you just think of things like that. And you're like, wow, I'm proud to represent this brand. I'm proud to represent this family. And that's, what we hope to bring here and everything like that as well.
What did you guys get to eat?
So at the place,
yeah,
it's called Zia's. So it's a rotisserie chicken place.
Okay.
So I had to get that, but they had some like Thai ribs and some
interesting.
Okay.
Too,
so
not what I would expect.
The red beans and rice is a
sure.
delicacy down there.
Yeah,
that's Jen's favorite.
It's my favorite.
So I mean, as you know, I'm not a stranger to food or anything like that either. But that's the good thing is they definitely have some good cooking down there too.
That's awesome. Tell us, I didn't hit this. You guys are not open yet, and will not be open when this comes out, and that's okay. We're kind of doing a preview. We're really excited about this. Where exactly will you be on Highway K? Between the car wash and the bank.
Yep. Right. Should be easy. So we're located on Highway K, across the street from Fritz's, right next to a Plaza Tire. It's in the little strip mall that's got Little Caesars there. So we'll be on the end with the drive-through and an open seating area. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. So we definitely encourage people to come in, set up shop for the day, have your meetings there, come have your morning coffee club there.
Yeah, tell me about the atmosphere when you walk in. Is it going to be, what's it going to be like? What is the store set up like? And
we want it to be comfortable. We want people to walk in and become a regular. We want to recognize you, and we want you to recognize us too. And we'll have couches set up. We've got tables set up. Don't worry, we got plenty of outlets for everyone's laptops and everything. And we want people to make it feel like home. Like if you have to work from home, why don't you just come work in PJ's instead?
And with the food options, they can stay for breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Absolutely.
dessert, it sounds like even.
We have
Of
it
course.
all. Yeah, I'll tell you, and again, to highlight this, I know Jen said a little bit earlier, kind of in joke, but it's being real too. Cuban sandwich is by far my favorite.
We've had the Cuban sandwich conversation.
It's ridiculous, right? And we went up to go visit the franchisees out in Kansas City. So there's one actually that opened up in Platte City, Missouri, near Kansas City, and I had 3 of them by 10 o'clock. Not something I'm proud of, But it's just one of those things that, again, like, that fresh type food, and you're just like, man, it's something you just wouldn't expect, but it's actually fantastic, right? And so, yeah, it's one of those, like Jen had mentioned, we want to be that spot where people come to work and hang out and do all that. And again, if that's going to carry them from breakfast to lunch, then so be it. We'll be there too. But yeah, it's
and we want you to bring your families. You're going to see our family there, kids, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandma's even going to be there. So we want it to be a family place too. Bring your kids in, let them pick out their own beignet if they want.
Is your family going to be working for you, or just they're hanging out, helping?
A little bit of both. Yeah. When we said that this was a family business, we meant it, and our family has been 100% supportive to us for this, and we could not be more grateful for that. So we absolutely expect our family to be there, and everyone else can too. You can come get to know us. I mean, our kids are going to be there picking up trash, so we got to put them to work.
Punishment for that potty mouth.
Exactly.
Well, he's got, right?
He's got to learn, yeah.
Hey, quick sidebar. This probably will be done by the time this podcast airs, but I think at the end of October, Mellow Mushroom has an amazing Cuban pizza. It's called Havana Nights.
And how much longer do we have until
I think the end of October. I had it yesterday. Yeah, you can go there tonight and get it. But if you like Cubans, I mean, it's really good. Little plug for our friends at Mellow. Yeah, well, go there anyway. There's a ton of other pizzas, but if you have a chance to go there before the end of October to get that Havana Nights
sounds like dinner
pizza,
tomorrow night.
Yeah, seriously. Great spot. So we talked about your family working there and employees and stuff. That sounds like a nutso thing to do right now, to hire employees. Can you talk about that? And I don't know if you're that far in the process yet.
We're close.
Okay.
So we have not officially posted the now hiring. However, it will be in the next upcoming weeks, probably next 2 weeks, honestly, as we get started. So it's one of those taboo things, right? So far, construction has been exactly as planned, which has been great. Kind of coordinating with the different vendors to make sure the equipment, everything's going to arrive on time, and so far it is, right? So again, as taboo as that is to say, we wanted to make sure that we're not, hey, let's hire right away, and then all of a sudden there's that lag time. So it is to be coming. We have been fortunate that we've had a lot of people in the community reach out to us just based off the small amount of marketing that we have done. We've had some, referrals from some natural market, but we've also had people that, it's actually kind of surprising how many people that lived in Louisiana or New Orleans in the past now live in St. Louis. And, we've been getting emails and calls about people saying, hey, how do I apply? Or what does this look like? Do you hire college kids? Do you hire this? The answer is yes, absolutely. Yeah. And so, we don't want to be naive on it. We know how, challenging it is today, to hire, team members and everything too. But we do feel like we're different. We do feel like we have a lot to offer. And it's one of those things that from a culture standpoint, we want to be a place that people want to work at and be proud of. And that's what we aim to do. So far it's been good. We do have some people that are reaching out, but we will be kind of mass throwing that out there here shortly.
Talk about why would someone work there versus another chain or another place? Like what benefits do you have for I don't mean like direct benefits, but like why would an employee want to work there?
Better coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I mean, to her point, I mean, it's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not, right? I think that one of the reasons why we chose PJ's also is because we wanted consistent, better coffee, right? And so, there's a lot of good coffee places there, and everything too. But, for us, it was saying, how can we be different, right? We want to offer something different that, not everybody's just like, well, cool, I can get that down the street, or hey, I can get it at Quick Trip, or hey, I can get it wherever, right? But it's the consistent good coffee, and PJ's has kind of hit that nail on the head with the way they do their processes. And just kind of throw another kind of fun stat, the cold brew. So they're actually they kind of prime themselves as the original cold brew. They actually, the way they steep it and they do it for 24 hours, it actually comes out 2/3 less acidic than the hot coffee. So again, it caters to that other, demographic maybe that goes, hey, I don't drink coffee because it's too acidic. It leaves that bad taste. Well, the way PJ's kind of brews the coffee, the hot, but also the cold, it kind of caters to that individual too. So it's giving us something that differentiates us more than anything.
Yeah. Now, I obviously know you guys both personally, know that you both have 9-to-5 jobs, right? Safe, secure. You guys both work for big companies. This is crazy.
Who are you telling?
I mean, it's crazy to just start a business. I mean, it's rewarding, obviously, and you know that you work with entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. It's a crazy thing to do, to go like, let's start a business. Now, you guys are not leaving your jobs. Let's be clear about that, right? Do you want to make an announcement? You're not
Right. Yeah, it is crazy, but everybody wants to be their own boss. I mean, who doesn't want to run your own life?
Mm-hmm.
And we've always wanted that. That's always been a thing for both of us. We've always wanted something that we could have together that was our family, that could involve our family. And, life got away. We bought a house. We had our first son, and that kind of got put on the back burner while other things were more important. And then we had our second son, and it was, what are we doing? We're still young enough. Why can't we do this? And if we don't do it now, when are we going to? And you have to take a leap of faith. There's never going to be a right time. There's never going to be a good time to do it, enough money to do it. And you just have to try. And this was something that we really wanted to do. And if we weren't passionate about it, we certainly wouldn't be crazy enough to do it. And especially now that we have a third child. So
I was going to say, wait, I know there's 3. So the decision came when there were 2.
Yes.
And then you're like, whoops, now.
Yeah. Then the little girl decided to surprise us and throw one more wrench in there. So, yeah, it's crazy. But if not now, when? Yeah. And that's what we want. And we're going to take that step, and we want everybody to take it with us.
There's awesome. That crazy theory, right, where they said, hey, you want something done, give it to the busiest person in the room, right?
Sure.
And for us, we feed off that energy, and it's one of those things where we know we can handle it. We can handle it very easily. We will be owner-operators. We will be involved. We will be there on a daily basis. And, again, you mentioned, hey, why would somebody come work, at PJ's versus maybe somewhere else? And I think the biggest thing is involvement. It's one of those where we're going to lead by example, but we're also going to be there. And I think that's the big thing. And hearing some of the people and, prospective team members that we've talked to, I think that was the biggest thing that stuck out, was like, oh, my God, you mean it's not going to be once every other week that I get to talk to you or hear from you? No, you're going to see me. You're going to see the kids. You're going to see everybody. And so, it's just one of those things where we do have the time. Yes, we're busy. Yes, we have a crazy life, but it's one of those things that we wouldn't trade. And it's something that we can easily handle.
Now, you guys have talked about this passion, and it's very clear, obviously, that you have a passion to be self-employed, be your own boss. And again, knowing what you do kind of makes sense. I mean, you kind of hire and coach even a little bit some entrepreneurs. Can we say what you do?
Sure.
So you're a recruiter for a district of farmers insurance agents. Right. And so, you're responsible for recruiting, hiring, training, and sending these people out on their own. And I can imagine that probably gets frustrating if you're like, hey, I'm doing this for, how long have you been there?
So I've been with farmers now since 2013. I've been in this role since 2015. So it's been, we're old.
So you're bringing,
right?
Yeah. So you're bringing these people on and saying, here's how you do it. Here's what you need to do, and go out and do it. And you're seeing them be successful.
Absolutely.
And as someone with as much passion and drive, that's got to be kind of annoying a little bit, right?
It is. Fortunately, like you said, I mean, the good thing, being that independent contractor myself, it's definitely that itch, right? That you want to do it. But I'll tell you, my why, it's crazy as it sounds, is the development of other people. Does it get frustrating? Sure. Is it working with other people frustrating? Absolutely. Yeah. Right. But it's one of those things where, my why at the end of the day is, when you see that agent open up that storefront, it's really cool to go, man, we talked when you were at a low. Mm-hmm. We talked when you were looking for a career and saying, man, I need to do this, or, hey, maybe I got laid off, or, hey, maybe this happened. Mm-hmm. And then to watch them again, come out of that and see what it does for their family. It's extremely rewarding. And, kind of to circle back to the very beginning of, why coffee, we toyed around with, okay, what if we just do an agency together? But again, right. Yeah. But it's one of those two. And I don't think that's Jen's passion, right? It's something that I enjoy sales. I enjoy that. That's the lifestyle I live. I'm in the insurance field, right? So for me, it was the right thing. But for Jen, it was, what? Maybe that's not something that I can match your energy on. And again, that's where coffee kind of comes back into the picture, where it's matched energy. We're both on the same page. And it's just like, man, it's impossible to talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
We went to school for two very different things. So when it came to finding something that we were both passionate about on common ground was a little difficult.
Now, when you decided to and that itch has always been there to be entrepreneurs. Did you start looking, in other words, it wasn't like, let's open a PJ's Coffee franchise. Did you look at other things first? And you don't have to say specifically anything negative, but what did you go through and what was that process? You talked a little bit about it earlier, but to what extent did you make other visits, or how deeply did you look into other franchises or other opportunities?
Yeah, it started with, the idea of coffee. Coffee's
Okay.
not going out of business anytime soon,
Sure.
right? I mean, everybody drinks it. It's something that is almost a staple in most of Americans drink every single day. So we knew it's something that could last. And then we started with the big chains, your Starbucks, your Dunkin'. Of
Sure.
course, why wouldn't you look at that? They're at the top of their game. So you look into those, but that disconnect between, the franchisees and corporate.
Is it because they're so big?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a lot there that they've got great opportunities for people. And of course, we looked into every angle of it. And then we kind of kept going further. Like, well, what is something different? What's something different that we can bring to this area that's not just another one of those? So John found PJ's and he was like, hey, take a look at this website. And so I got on it. And like I had said before, when you get on the website, it just feels different. There's so much that you can connect with there family-wise. There's, the way they have everything set up and their story. It was just something that really intrigued us. And, that's when you start all the meetings and you sit there and, they put their sales pitch on you. And when at the end of the day, you can't see a reason why not to, it kind of just seemed to make sense.
Well, and to your point too, Ed, I mean, given, like you said, given what I do, again, you hear him talking about it, you're like, okay, cool. Like, give me more. Tell me what I really need to hear. And, I think the funny part is that never came. Right. And it's
like, what's the catch?
What's the catch? And, the catch never came. And, it's verified, not only talking to other franchisees, seeing it on paper, but also, again, going down there and literally seeing it for yourself. And yeah, to her point, it was one of those that we vetted everybody, man. This is almost a 2-year process. It's been a long road. Yeah. And it's been a long road. And, honestly, at the end of the day, like she mentioned, the PJ's website did catch our eye, and then it was the taste test. We ordered beans, we ordered coffee from a lot of different sources, and when the PJ's came in, and like you said, you smelt it, right? And it was just like, wow, okay, this could be something, and it was. And I think that's the biggest thing is we tasted it, we just kind of looked at each other, and we just go, yeah.
That's it. Sold.
We had to like the coffee that we were going to sell.
Sure.
I mean, if you can't get behind your own product, what are you going to do?
Of course.
And it was one of those where, again, you vet some of them and you're like, she goes, hey, this is pretty good. And I'm like, I don't know. And vice versa. But, you literally look up after you drink, take a sip of your cup and you're like, yep, this is it. And it was very neat. I don't really know a better word to use.
Was the first one you tried from PJ's the Bananas Foster?
Southern Pecan.
Southern Pecan, yeah.
That's their number one seller.
The Southern Pecan, okay.
The first taste of it, you're going to understand why.
That's year-round available?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's going to be a dark roast, a medium roast, a flavored roast, and then decaf. So the 4 different selections. The flavor will be, it'll be changed daily. And I mean, part of it for us too, it's to give the customers a idea of, hey, here's all the different flavors. Like, let's lock in on what you like, but also, hey, let's go and find if maybe there's going to be something else that you'll enjoy too. So the flavors will kind of change, kind of daily, but we're always going to have a dark roast. We're always going to have that medium roast. We're going to have that decaf, and then the flavors will kind of be, daily selections and things like that. And
that helps keep our coffee fresh too.
Correct.
By not keeping the same flavor on deck every single day.
Correct.
It makes sure that we can rotate out and keep the coffee as fresh as possible.
How many stores are there? What number are you? Is there, do you know? Or
so there's 140 right now that are operational. There's 200 in development.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're coming.
They are. Yeah. Okay.
And you kind of mentioned kind of geography too. Actually, PJ's is now international. They're actually going to Japan. As crazy as that is.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
When do you get to visit that store?
Yeah, I don't know. But I think I'd like to. So it's just one of those where everything, the writing on the wall was there. And we looked at each other and we said, they're coming, they're starting to pop up in more places. Again, one opened up already in Platte City, Missouri. So, it's one of those where like, look, we can not do anything, right? And maybe regret it later. Or again, there's never going to be a right time. I do think this is the right time though. And it's one of those where let's hop on it. And again, they've backed it up. And, I think the biggest thing I've been saying to people, at the end of the day is, sometimes the hard part is proving it, right? Proving it. Getting there is one thing, but proving it's another thing. And we could not be more confident in the product that we have to back up what we're doing. And I think that's the most exciting part about it, is, again, I think once people taste, the difference, again, we haven't even talked about granitas. Just for
I don't even know what that is. What's that? It's a new word for me. Granitas?
Yeah, granita.
Spell that for me.
Jen, this is one of your favorites.
GRANITA. And it is essentially one of the greatest frozen drinks you'll ever have. It's coffee, but it's blended. But it's different than your normal blended drinks that you might get. The ice is a lot thinner, and it's a cross between like espresso. Yeah, it's almost like not the consistency of a Frosty, but a little smoother than like a normal Frappuccino. I mean, it's fantastic. I will drink them all summer long. You'll see me with a granita in my hand every single day. They are absolutely amazing. And they have different flavors of granitas. The caramel one is my favorite. I just am a caramel girl.
Is this a New Orleans thing? Is this a PJ's thing?
This is a PJ's thing.
It's a PJ's thing. Okay.
Yeah. And so again, it's one of those, again, you kind of mentioned differentiators, and like she mentioned, there's a caramel one, which is fantastic. I had one last week in New Orleans, and I sent her a couple pictures. She wasn't happy about that. I know. There's a mocha one as well that's really good, and then there's a plain one. So I mean, again, there's one you can add any flavor. You can add different kind of again, really whatever you want to it. So there is a plain option for someone who goes, I don't know if I want the caramel. I don't know if I want the mocha. Well, again, you can kind of customize it too, which makes it neat.
All right, we talked about pecan. Are we embracing y'all? Has that moved into the vocabulary?
Y'all's been in my vocabulary forever.
I say that sometimes, and I went to school in Mississippi and have spent a lot of time down there and in New Orleans, and I get some funny looks when I say it here, but it's just so much easier. It just rolls off the tongue, and it's okay.
I mean, you all
we're
just
here,
is a lot.
You guys.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, no.
We're saying y'all. That's what we're doing.
Y'all.
Can we bring up the that email I sent? I just have a little. This is super anticlimactic, and it's not gonna. This is the week 2
all right,
Farmers Fun League fantasy football score. So what are your thoughts on this? I mean, do you have anything to say, or?
The boys put in a not so good effort. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's very disappointing. I was telling Jen, she doesn't care at all about.
You had a great day from some players. Jalen Waddle had 40 points. I mean, that's
Do you see the other players? Maybe Cooper showed up a little bit.
Not so much a great turnout from your defense, from your kicker, from your tight end, from Kareem Hunt, but not a bad day from those two. I mean, Justin Herbert, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, all good. I mean, a good day from Gibson. I had Antonio Gibson last year. He's on my never draft again list.
Yep.
You have those, right? Where you had them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's an entire list this year, I think.
And I tell you,
great day from Waddle. I mean,
I come home for our draft party, and again, she could care less, and I'm excited. I'm going, well, you know what? This year, I'm finally going to do it. I came in second last year. I was like, this is going to be the year. We're going to make it happen. And then I think I did win this week, so I'm a solid 1-3.
1-3. Okay.
Coming.
Well, there you go, 8th place, and I can't read that. What does that say for Ed's?
Yeah.
But had a good week that week. I normally don't score that many points.
Yep.
I had to though. I mean, I didn't beat you by that much, and Waddle had 40 again, but this guy St. Brown matched him. So that was my surprise. That was just for fun.
That's a good surprise. But anyway, that coffee.
So tell us. I know we don't have like a hard open date, but when can we expect to see you guys? And
not to be taboo with it. We're hoping for an early December, kind of early to mid-December grand opening. So the way it's hopefully we'll go, and again, hopefully nobody holds us to this, but you can. Construction is set to be done between 11/7 and 11/11. 11/11 kind of being that hard date, right? Minus any final touch-ups or oopses or anything like that. But everything looks fantastic in the storefront right now. We actually just went in there yesterday for an on-site meeting, and it looks great. So given that that's done, then we're going to have about 10 days with the baristas and the team members to do training. So another thing about support, you talk about community, talk about the franchises. It's a franchise that backs you from a training standpoint too. And so they're actually flying multiple trainers out to actually work with us for 10 straight days to work with our baristas to make sure, it's done up to spec, and that everybody kind of knows the right way to do it. Again, that consistency, right? And everything too. The one thing that I think is holding us back from giving that date is there's that little thing called Thanksgiving, right? So we want to make sure, right, that everything comes in. We do get the certificate of occupancy. We are ready to go. And then obviously we need to get trained. So the goal and the hope is that we're able to do that before the holiday. But if we can't, then it would be, maybe be back that next week. So long-winded answer. I know I'm getting to that, but yeah, that early to mid-December is when that grand opening should be ready. But we will start to be, training and getting up operational and everything. Hopefully, yeah, by the end of November.
Yeah, very cool. And obviously, we're going to Local 636 is all over this. We're on board with pushing this out, and so you can follow Local 636, our Insta, our Facebook for updates on this stuff. We're going to be at the grand opening and doing some cool stuff with you guys.
It'd be amazing, yeah.
to launch this and to roll this out. What are your guys' socials? And you can look in that camera. It's sometimes it's weird to look directly in the camera and talk. You don't have to, but if you want to say anything to the audience in 636.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at PJ's Coffee O'Fallon, and then we are also on Facebook, and it's PJ's Coffee with our address, which is 2426 State Highway K.
Last words, final thoughts, questions, comments, concerns.
We just really hope that everyone comes out and really sees the difference that we're going to bring. We're excited to bring it to this area. We've been hearing people that are really excited to see it, and a lot of New Orleans transplants that are excited to have it here too, which makes us really happy. And we're so happy to be able to bring it to not only the St. Louis area, but to the 636 area as well. So, we just can't wait to see everybody. And like we said, it's a family thing. Bring your family. You'll see ours. We're going to be there.
I think the word that comes to mind is grateful. It's just one of those things where, we're very grateful and excited. Again, with the marketing we have done, and obviously with still not being open yet, we haven't ramped it up fully, but the community response has been fantastic. I don't think we could have anticipated this. In fact, the marketing director at PJ's, when we were down there, even mentioned, she's like, for a kind of a pioneer market, she's like, this is a little ridiculous. So that just goes to show that, not only Missouri, but the 636, people show up, right? And it's one of those things that they back their local storefronts, and we do too. We try to shop everything we can. We try to do it locally. We try to, support family businesses, and it's one of those things that we're very proud to say that we're one of those too. And, again, it is a franchise, but it's going to be a family type feel that's owner and operated. It's not an AMSA owner. It's somebody that will be there day in, day out. And again, grateful. We're excited.
Love it, man. We're going to have you guys on again before the grand opening. I think we'll have some beignets on here, or maybe right after.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely do this again. Stoked for you guys. The coffee's fantastic. It really is amazing. John and Jen with PJ's Coffee. Thanks, guys.
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it.